Hi, you're watching Aircraft Fabric Covering with Two Canadians, and my name is Jody Smith. And tonight we are in the hangar working on a Javron Cub wing. And as you can kind of see, we've got one side almost on. And during the midst of this, my fellow Canadian, Mr. Gary Hillman, says to me, Jody, wait a minute, Jody, can you come over and help and take a look at this? And I said, sure, Gary, I certainly will. So when I came over here, here's what I found. A couple chalk lines snapped, and we went into a deep discussion on how we are going to finish attaching the fabric, not only the top, because it's wrapping around, but also when we go to put the bottom on, where are we going to end? Here, here, where are we going to end? So we had a lengthy discussion, because the first thought was, let's bring this one around to here. The bottom one we would end somewhere around in here, and then lay a tape that would encapsulate both of those glue areas along. But then I said to Gary, I don't like that idea, because then the tape ends up being way up in here with the pinked edges in there. And how do you get those suckers to lay down? That's gonna make me cranky. So we ditched that idea. Then we decided, well, let's talk about this. Let's play around with our tapes. What size of tape are we going to need? And how are we gonna lay our tapes when we get to that part, depending on where our cut lines are gonna be. And so what we finally decided on is that we're going to bring this top layer around to this cut line. And then when we put the bottom on, it's gonna come all the way and go over top, and we're gonna cut it off flush with the trailing edge. That way, when we put our tape over top, because there is a spot on the top side here that goes from solid into flex, we'll be able to capture that, plus our glue seam not being close to these attachments, so that I can iron and be whistling happy tunes rather than cursing Gary out. So just to let you know that I know most of you think that we just get together and we know everything about how to lay these things. We don't have to discuss nothing, because it just comes to us naturally. It's not the case. We actually have lengthy discussions, not just looking at the moment of how to lay the fabric, but thinking ahead when it comes to tapes as well, and what that's gonna look like, laying a tape, where the pinked edges are gonna end up, so that it gives us a great looking airplane with the minimal amount of work that we need to do in order to keep it looking great. So I hope that helps and makes you understand that there is quite a process when it comes to covering airplanes. You're watching Aircraft Fabric Covering with Two Canadians.